Today we're converting fractions to decimals. One of the things that you should know is that in order to convert a fraction to a decimal, you need to have your, the fraction should have 10, 100, 1,000, 10, 100, or 1,000 as the denominator. Okay? 10, 100, or 1,000 as the denominator for what we do in 5th grade. Okay? So for this one, the denominator is 10. So you would underline the 0. There's 1 0. Okay? Remember, in your place value for your decimals, you have your decimal point, and then your first place value is the 10th place. And so basically you would just put 6 over the 10th place. So your decimal would be decimal point and then 6. Okay? Before we go too far, I'll do your place value here. And I personally don't care if you do it in numbers or if you do it in words, if you label them. So you can either label this way or you can label this way. You do not have to do both of them. The only thing that I want to make sure that you do is remember this TH, okay? Because that definitely makes a difference in the value. So when you have a decimal, it is a part of a whole. So a decimal is a part of a whole, is a part of a whole. Just like a fraction. So your decimal is a part of a whole, and then these are the place values that we go to in 5th grade. Of course they go on and on. However, we only need to know about the 10, the 100th, or 1,000, and then it would follow the same pattern of adding another 0 each time. So let's do another example. Let's do 45 over 100. So 45 over 100, we would underline your zeros, your decimal point, and you have 2 zeros, so you need 2 underlines. Okay? And then label, this is the 10th place, and this is the 100th place. And then you put your number on the top. It should always end in the last name. So 45, last name 100th. Okay? Let's see how different that would be if it's 45 thousandths. I'm going to write on this side. Let's see, it's 45 thousandths. Our first step is to underline the zeros. You put your decimal point, and you have 3 zeros, so you need 3 lines. Then you would label your place value. And again, I don't care if you use the words or the numbers with the TH at the end. And this is 45, last name thousandth. So you need to end in the thousandth place, which means you'll need a place value of a 0 here. Okay? And as long as you end in the last name, so end in whatever the fraction is, then you should be okay. All right? Let's try one other. 2/5. Yes, I got you on that one. On 2/5. On 2/5, it does not end in a 10, a 100, or 1,000. So you need to get it to a place that it can end in a 10, 100th, or 1,000. And the way to do that is do an EFT. An EFT is an equivalent fraction table. An equivalent fraction table allows you to find another fraction that is equal to 2/5. Okay? This is an easy one because you're going to skip count. So 5 and then 10. We've got one of those numbers, that 10, 100, or 1,000, so we can stop. And then 2, skip count to 4. So our equivalent fraction for this one is 4/10. Okay? Now that we have our 4/10, we can now convert this to a decimal. Underline that 0. There's 1 0, so that means you need 1 line. Label it. Let's do the number this time. Okay? And then you put the 4. So 2/5 in a fraction equals 4/10. Sometimes I'll see this. They have the 2/5 and then they'll do this. Either I'll see this or I'll see this. Okay? Now both of those are wrong. They're wrong because when you label this and it's 2/10 or this is 5/10. And this nor this, neither of those look like this. Okay? So this is wrong and this is wrong. You have to make sure that you do an EFT or something that you can do to get your decimal, your denominator to be 10, 100, or 1,000. Okay? We'll try some of those in class today.